Hey, let's see what's going on in here this morning. Hey, Max. Hey, buddy. Hey, Pitbull. It's time to get up and do the show. It's okay, Dad. You go do it without me. I'll be right here. Come on, man. It's time to do Hot Joe and the Ranko show. I don't want to, brother. I'm sleeping. All right, buddy. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, you see this? This is no bueno. Nobody wants to see this early in the morning. So we've got to put on the Ranko cap here. Oh, there we go. See, that's much better. All right. Yeah. Oh, that's much, much, much better. Nobody wants to see all that, right? Just get the beard ready, right? Here we go. All right. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Hot Joe and the Ranko Show, episode 5. It's 22 degrees outside, and it is January 21st, and I found out, not last night, but the night before last, I am not an early to bed kind of guy. I was trying to go to bed early so that I could get up early for you folks and get this on the air, but I figured out that that's not a good idea. I went to bed about 8:30, and I woke up about 1 a.m., and then could not go back to sleep. So I usually stay up till midnight, and I think, or 10:30ish to midnight, so I think I'll probably just keep that going. So anyway, let's have a little coffee. Got our Loveless Cafe mug this morning. And I'm drinking a little Caribou coffee right there. I've got me a new lovely shock mount and pop shield from Knox. It's nice. It makes the mic a little bit smaller, and I like it. It's cool. And the little thingies, they match my... Never mind. Sorry. All right. So today on the show, I want to talk about electronic devices and how they affect our everyday life. But first, I want to talk about a comment that I got from a good buddy of mine, Kevin, who I grew up with all the way since, elementary school. And we used to hang out all the time. So, he won't mind if I put this on here, I'm sure, but I'm not giving his last name. So, he just said, loved episode 4. That was like a search talk. Sometimes it blows me away how wise we actually are at this age. Loving it and still watching. And I just said, man, glad to hear it. I'm glad you like it. I try to make the shows informative and fun. He said, dude, that was beyond informative. It was closer to inspirational. I was watching and thinking, my kids need to see this. That real. And that kind of, I was like, wow, man, I'm humbled. I mean, I don't know. Did you want to let your kids watch something? It was cool to me. And Kevin's a good dude. And that was very neat that he would want to do that. So just wanted to kind of mention that. It's kind of the reason I want to keep doing this thing. It's obviously I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it for fun. And because I like hanging out with you dudes, right? All right. And dudes and ladies. So got a lot of ladies watching the show. So that's very cool. All right. So let's talk about electronic devices. We all have them. We're all buried in them. And what are the long-term effects? So it got me thinking. I always know is when I was a kid, I had to remember things. I didn't have a phone to look up, whatever, to look up phone numbers, look up anything. My schedule, or of course, when you're young, you don't have much of a schedule, but it just got me thinking, like, I could remember my childhood phone number, my grandparents' phone number, my dad's work phone number, my mom's work phone number, my buddy Kevin's phone number, my other brother Kevin, my buddy Kendall's phone number. I mean, I knew all these phone numbers by heart. They were in my head. Well, I mean, right now, if you ask me what my girlfriend's phone number is and put a gun to my head, I'd be like, sorry, dude, I don't know. It's in my phone. So it makes me wonder if that part of the brain that we use for remembering all that stuff, if we're not developing that. I mean, I guess you have to learn other things, but I mean, we had to remember locker codes and, like I said, phone numbers and all that stuff. And I wonder in the long run if that's going to be something that comes back to bite us, because now we rely on a cell phone to basically remember everything for us, and we don't have to memorize anything. It also makes me think too, just of the social interactions that we have, that you'll see too. It's funny, I saw this one night. I was out eating by myself, and back when I was single, and these two kids were sitting I say kids, they were teenagers or whatever, eating dinner, and you could tell they were kind of on a first date or whatever, and they were both just, and then they'd kind of talk a little bit, and then it was awkward, and then they'd kind of, and I just thought, man, you're so missing out. Like, put your phone down. There's a pretty girl sitting across the table. Talk to her. Let her know you're interested, or just interact. That's a scary thing to me, that people can't interact like that. And I go to concerts, and when I go to a concert, I take my phone. I go, here, I was there. I take a video. I might take 2 short snippet videos. Then I put my phone away. I want to watch the concert. That's what I paid for. I'm here. I'm never going to go back and look at a concert on a 3-inch screen. I'm not going to be like, because the audio is going to be terrible. And it's not like I'm going to be like, yeah, this is great. Let's watch that all day. You're missing life. It's passing by, because you're watching life through this screen, through your camera. It's like, you got these things. They're the best cameras made. They have crazy peripheral vision, and anyway, it's not a rant. I don't want people to miss what's going on around them, because they're so glued into their phones. It was interesting at my high school 30th reunion. They had a video that someone had shot during our senior year, and which was 1988. It was all done on VHS, right? So it was they had it just running in the background on a TV, and it was fantastic to watch, but it was scary to watch in the fact that how much our society has changed. Because when we were in high school, somebody's got this, instead of having a camera like this, it was like this, right? So somebody's got this camera, and they're going down the hallway, and every time they would put that camera in somebody's face, you could see people, get that camera out of my face. No, I don't want to be on camera. What has changed in that 30 years, man? It's like, I can't wait to get on camera. It's like, you're taking selfies and posing with your friends and doing all that stuff. And it's like, kids can't get enough of getting, and not just kids, everybody. I'm included, right? Hey, I want to be in this picture. I want to be in this video, whatever. 30 years ago, people were like, I do not want to be on video. So it's interesting how technology has just totally changed us. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom and I going to Sunflower, was the grocery store in my hometown, and they started having automated checkout. And my mom was like, wow, that's weird. They just would scan stuff, and there it is, right? So then a little bit later, we got pay at the pump gas. And I remember my mom saying to me as a younger kid, she said, if the technology keeps up like this, we won't have to interact or talk to anybody ever at all. And we're kind of there. Right? You can go get gas. You can, I ordered tons of stuff off Amazon. you can order food at your house. It'll be delivered. You technically don't have to interact. And I wonder what effects that's going to have on kids growing up. Because when I was younger, I'm only 50. It's not like I'm 80, but if you wanted to break up with a girlfriend or they wanted to break up with you, they told you. And it sucked, and it was face to face, and it was hard, and everybody got upset and whatever. And now it's just like, I want to break up with you. Send. It's such a different thing. I don't think we're preparing people for what the real world holds. I mean, disappointment and being turned down in all kinds of situations, whether it's business. Man, I can't tell you how many bands I either didn't make the cut for, or I got kicked out of, or whatever, and you're devastated, right? But you know how to deal with it. You're like, that's cool. I'll find another band, or I'll, move on, whatever. But I'm not sure that we are giving kids the coping mechanisms to do that, because they're so involved in, I've seen kids you take a phone away from, they lose their mind. Go insane. It's like a drug, right? I love the fact on my phone it has that counter where at the end of the week it'll tell you how much screen time you've done, and it'll say, congratulations, your screen time is down 20%, or it'll say it's up, and then it tells you what you've been watching. And I think that's a good thing, to keep up with how much screen time you're doing, right? So, it's funny, since I met my girlfriend, technology took a little of a swing for me, because my girlfriend is not a big technology person. In fact, when we first started dating, I went over to her house and I walked in and I'm like, where's your TV? She goes, oh, I don't have a TV. I was like, what? She goes, oh, I don't watch TV. I read books and do whatever. And I was like, okay, that's smart. So before then, I had been living in a house, or I was living in my current house, this house here, and some friends of mine, their house burned down. Long story, but some people came to live with me for a while after the house was burned down, and we would sit and watch shows every night after work. And so I Deadliest Catch and all these that I had DVR'd. Then I realized it was just like, that's what we did every night. We sat and watched TV for hours until somebody fell asleep. And I just thought, man, this is too much. It's too much TV. I'm wasting my life away just sitting in front of a TV. So I canceled my cable. I've got a digital antenna in the attic so I can watch the weather in the morning. I get 2, 4, and 5 and 17 and, a couple channels I can watch Frasier and some of the older stuff. But I can get current events, watch the news, or watch the weather. That's all I need. If it's not on those channels, go do something else. I can stream stuff through YouTube or whatever, but I just got rid of cable. I just felt like it was just, there's other good things I could be doing, right? There's other stuff I could do. And it was funny. My girlfriend and I were walking through Costco one day, and this is still early in our relationship. And, there's always that guy at Costco that's like, hey, can I get you hooked up with some DirecTV? Who's your cable provider? Whatever. And I remember my girlfriend looking at the guy. She goes, oh, I don't have a TV. And you would have thought, that guy was like, what? How do you not have a TV? She's like, I don't have a TV. So it's funny how that freaks people out, right? Anyway, just something to think about during, the course of your day. How much technology is too much technology? Now, don't get me wrong. Technology is a wonderful thing in moderation, right? Facebook is fantastic because you can keep up with your friends. You can, it's just like my buddy Kevin. We were texting last night while I was writing stuff for the show. Which brings me to a topic. If you have any ideas for the show, anything you want to see or hear or have me talk about or cover, please put it down in the comments, because I'm the only writer for this show, obviously, so I need content, and I would love to know what you think. So, like I said, technology is great. We have medical technology that saves people's lives. I mean, that's fantastic, but I think we do have to judge how much we're buried in our devices and how much it affects our interaction with people around us. So just something to think about. All right, let's get to some more coffee. All right. Camera 2, what's up? All right. So let's get to the lyric challenge of the day. All right, yesterday's winner was Bobby. And he came up with You Make Lovin' Fun by Fleetwood Mac. He got that. He jumped in, so he was the winner of that. Mr. Keegan, you need to step your game up. And so here's the lyric challenge today. Here we go. You know the lies they always told you and the love you never knew. What's the things they never showed you that swallow the light from the sun inside your room? There's your challenge for the day. We'll announce it tomorrow. All right, so I'm adding something today that I think will be cool. It's the fun fact of the day. All right, so the fun fact of the day is, I pulled this off the internet. I found a cool place to get these, so we'll chuck one of these in with every episode. We're at about 15 minutes now. Fun fact of the day, bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun. Bananas go through a process called negative geotropism. Instead of growing towards the ground, they start growing towards the sun. The fruit grows against gravity, which gives the banana its familiar curved shape. There you go. All right, a little banana knowledge there. Also, yesterday it was snowing a little bit, and it got me thinking, why bread and milk? Like, everybody runs to the store and get bread and milk. Why aren't you going to get, like, beer and chips and Rotel cheese dip? I mean, that's what you want to be eating, right? When you're when you're stuck in the snow. But everybody goes for bread and milk. It's like, hey, let's go eat prison food. That sounds amazing. Anyway, just something to think about. These are watch out. These are the things I think about. All right, guys. Well, that's all there is for today. Please think about subscribing if you haven't yet. I noticed on my analytics that 73% of the people that watch my show are not subscribers. So that means I would have probably about 3,000 subscribers if everybody that watched my show was a subscriber. And that would really help me out tremendously to get me up to the next level. Click the like button if you like what you heard today. And until we see each other next time, just remember, you can't soar with the eagles if you hang out with a bunch of turkeys. I love you. Have a great day.